Hello friends. So I'm in a little bit of an unusual situation today. I am actually without power for the next about 3 hours at least. So luckily I don't need power to record these videos. The only thing that needs to be plugged in is my ring light, and I had the foresight to charge a portable battery. So that's plugged into that. The cameras of course run on battery power. I just don't have any light, and I decided to just kind of lean into the theme and get a little spooky. But we are on Inktober day 8. We are almost finished. There's only one more after this that's going on YouTube. I do have 2 Patreon exclusive episodes, but I'll talk about those later. And for today's Inktober, we are doing vampire. And I've been looking forward to this one because I had the idea of course, what's a vampire gonna do on vacation other than sit at a poolside tiki bar and drink Bloody Marys? It just makes sense. So I do have 2 things to contend with today. Not only do I not have any light in this room, but I also do not have my air conditioning. It's still relatively early, it's almost noon, and the heat of the day usually hits around like 3 to 5 o'clock. So I have some time to kind of just get started on this while I have my cameras functioning and it's still relatively cool. So I'm just gonna start out by kind of just bisecting this whole piece to make the bar top. In the thumbnail, it's almost directly in the middle. It's kind of more, if anything, it's more towards the top of the page, but I do want to lower it a bit because his head's getting cut off. So we're gonna go more or less directly in the middle of the paper. Okay, it's a little high up anyway, but that's fine. Okay, and then my favorite little subtle bit of this piece is I've actually put a mirror behind the vampire because, as we all know, vampires do not have a reflection. So I wanted to make sure I had something that kind of portrayed that. I've got 2 shelves that are gonna be full of liquor bottles on either side. And then hanging on the back wall here, it's just a little mirror. I don't know what it is about bars, but I've been into quite a lot of them that actually have mirrors behind all the drinks. Is that a thing? I actually used to be a bartender, and my bar did not have a mirror. It had a pizza oven. But what is it about mirrors in bars? Why is that a thing? I'm gonna add a little beveling to hopefully remember to include that later, and that's our mirror. And then I'm just gonna construct some shelving here as well to put the liquor bottles on. Again, I'm trying to be quick with this because it is already a little uncomfortable in here. It's already kind of hot. So I wanna make sure I get the basic structure of this piece down ASAP. It's so funny when the power goes out. You keep thinking of all these like solutions that still won't work, or at least I do. I keep thinking about solutions that still won't work because I still don't have power. Like I just thought about, oh, I have a little portable fan that I can turn on because I can't use my air conditioning, but the fan has to be plugged in. Or this morning, I made myself some tea before the power went out, and I let it go cold because the whole time I was like, oh, I could just heat it up in the microwave. We are unfortunately so reliant on electricity that it's kind of hard to adapt once we don't have it anymore. And the days that we lose power are always the days that I want to play computer games the most because I just get so bored so quickly. Anyway, we got the top of the bar here. I'm gonna put a foot rail at the bottom of the bar. Sometimes places have that. It's just something, it's just like a little metal or wooden rail that you can rest your feet on when you're sitting on the stools. I think it'll just be nice to add a little bit of texture into the bottom since it's mostly plain otherwise. Then we've got our 3 bar stools. We've got the one that our vampire friend is sitting on, one kind of off to the side here, and one off to the other side. And I'll refine these a bit better off camera for the previously stated reasons, and because it's not fun. It's not fun to force you guys to just watch hours worth of video of just me sketching stuff in. Personally, I really like the speed throughs. It's my favorite part to edit because they're so satisfying to watch. So I hope you guys like them just as much as I do. Okay, we got our bar all laid out here. I did put like a little beer pull on the right side of the canvas, but I think I'll just try to remember to do that when I'm detailing everything out because I really want to get our buddy in here. And he's got a really relaxed pose. He's just kind of slouching. One arm up on the bar, the other one holding his Bloody Mary. It's gonna be hard to depict a Bloody Mary without being able to use color, but I think if I just put enough stuff on top of it, you can guess what it is. Bloody Marys always come with just an amalgamation of fruits and vegetables and different meats and essentially a whole meal on top of your drink. My parents keep telling me about this place that they visited where The bar held like, apparently there's like a National Bloody Mary Day, and on National Bloody Mary Day, the bar does like super deluxe Bloody Marys. And my parents took a picture. I'll see if I can get them to send it to me and I'll throw it up here, of what the Bloody Marys looked like. And it was basically just a meal with your drink. They put so much stuff on top. And then unfortunately they went back the next year hoping for the same experience and were sorely disappointed. I want to get his feet up on the little stool here, kind of get some max relaxation vibes going on. I feel like the stool maybe should have been just a little bit lower, and I'm gonna say it, I think I drew him too small. I'm realizing I really should just stick to my thumbnail, because when I'm drawing the thumbnail, I'm very like uninhibited about trying to make it perfect, and I'm able to get these great proportions and scribbly lines and good shapes, and everything just looks the way that I want it to. And then I make minor changes when I start working on the actual piece, and it never looks as good. This is gonna be one of those like straw hats that you typically see at a tiki bar. I don't really know how to draw those. I'll look it up. It's got sunglasses, of course. And I specifically put him at like a tropical themed bar, purely for the irony of it, because vampires obviously are not supposed to be in the sun. But I figured it's his vacation, let him do something he normally doesn't get to do. He is going to be nice and shaded though. Don't you worry about that. Just kind of get him fleshed out here. I'm not entirely sure about the tank top. I don't think it really says tropical vacation. I might change it. What if I just put a Hawaiian shirt over the tank top and kind of have it like unbuttoned? That might be a good idea. Just kind of have the sleeves here, and then the shirt can just be sitting open. Actually, I like that. I like that a lot. That's a good idea. He is, of course, going to have some Bermuda shorts on and just some flip-flops on his feet. I want this guy to look as beachy as possible. There we go. I like this guy. Actually, you know what? I don't think he is too small. I think that's actually a really good size, because now I can put in a whole lot of detail around him and I don't think he'll get lost in it. I love this guy, actually. This is one of my favorite drawings I've done, and I haven't even refined it yet. He just looks so comfy and chill. All right, I'm gonna speed through this. There's going to be a lot of background work going on, so I'm not entirely sure if I'll be able to get all the sketching done by the time my battery runs out. So hopefully next time you see me, I will have power again, but I will be right back. All right, see you in a bit. Hello friends, power is back on and we have our vampire sketch completed. I'm loving this guy so far. He looks so chill. This is exactly the mood that I wanted to capture for the piece, so I'm super, super happy with this. I do have a potluck to go to later today, and I'm also seeing that my face cam is low on battery because I did not charge it last night, but hopefully we can get through a little bit of the line art before I have to leave for the evening. Got about an hour before I need to start thinking about heading out. So same as all the rest of these videos, we're gonna start the line art with our subject and move out from there. So this is the first piece that I've done where you can see the characters like full face. No, I did the Frankenstein piece, you can see his full face. Never mind. I'm just so used to drawing characters. It's what I specialize in. And these Inktober pieces have been so like environmentally heavy that it kind of feels weird to have drawn like a full character again. I am really glad that I went the like backgrounds route on these pieces, because I think it's helped me a lot in terms of being a little more confident in drawing backgrounds. And speaking of confidence, I kind of noticed the other day, last Tuesday was the first art stream that I've done in a while. And I've noticed just since I've started working on Inktober and like traditional art, I've gained a lot of line confidence, which basically means that when I'm doing line art on a piece, I'm getting it right in the first try instead of having to go over it again and again. And I really think I need to contribute that to these Inktober series. Because with digital art, I don't know if this is the case for most people, but it definitely is for me. When I get used to having an undo button and having like a universal eraser, I tend to get a little sloppy with my line work because I just know that if I screw up on it, I can undo it. But obviously that's not an option for traditional art. If I screw up on this piece, I have to live with that mistake. So I feel that by doing this, it's just kind of helped me in that aspect of my digital art. Kind of like going back to basics and just relearning the fundamentals. Really makes a huge difference. I discovered this hat is called a beachcomber, by the way. And it's a specific type of straw hat where the brim is like huge and unfinished. So it's got a really particular look. And I really wanted that look for this piece. There's so much going on with this guy, I love it. All the little details, the Bloody Mary, the shark tooth necklace, the beachcomber, the sunglasses. I just love this guy. I think he's so cool. His Bloody Mary's got all of the like basic toppings. I've got a stick of celery here, a thing of bacon. I have that a lot on Bloody Marys. A lemon, and then instead of an olive, I just put an eyeball because it's spooky and Halloween. And I just wanted to add a little bit more of like a Halloween vibe to this piece. I've noticed that's something I've kind of been missing in my other pieces, is they're all very normal and not super Halloween-y, but it's fine. I still think they're cute. A little bit of a flat eyeball, it's okay. I also added a bit of like Halloween flair to the beer pools. Beer pools are one of my favorite like little details to just notice in everyday life, because if you go to a bar or you go to a restaurant that has a bar that has beer pools, you can see some pretty interesting ones, especially if it's a bar that does like craft or local brews. They're just so fun to look at. One of my favorites is there's I believe a local beer called Scrimshaw, and the beer pool is a scrimshawed whale tooth. And we actually used to serve that at my old place of work, and one of the beer pools broke. So we had to order a new one from the company. And I asked my boss if I could keep the old one because I liked it so much, and I still have it. Just next time you go to a place that has a bar, take a second to check out the beer pools. They're really interesting and sometimes really clever. I think I'm gonna use my ruler to make the line on this bar straight. Usually I do this free-handed, but this is such a long line. I really didn't want to screw that up. That hand was a little weird. Forever succumbing to the curse of not finishing my sketch and then wondering why the line art turns out wonky. Just realized I forgot to give him a straw in his amalgamation of Bloody Mary toppings, but I think it'll be fine. Generally, you want to drink a Bloody Mary from the rim anyway, because it's got like salt or tahini on the rim. I'm gonna do something a little risky here and attempt to shorten the thigh, the right thigh, because this is a little bit too long. The thigh should be just slightly shorter than the calf, and I think right now it's longer. So I'm just gonna very carefully take in the line art a little bit from where the sketch is. This is literally something I'm always telling people not to do, and I keep doing it myself. Okay, didn't turn out too bad this time. Flip-flops they're just the easiest shoes in the world to draw. Draw a long, thin rectangle, give it a strap, you've got yourself a flip-flop. And if you need to draw one from the top, just draw a Y, draw the toes, add the missing toe that you forgot in the sketch, and then just make it look like the toes are sitting on something. You got yourself a flip-flop. All right, there's our barfly vampire. I don't have a lot of time to get anything else started, so I best be going. I will see you back here to start working on the background, okay? See you in a bit. Hi guys, I'm back. It is October 23rd, and yesterday was the first day that we actually had a good, solid rainfall. It was the first rain of the season, and now it's cold. It is just like magically cold, and I could not be happier. I'm in my jacket. I don't have to use my AC anymore, at least not for the foreseeable future. I have a big old cup of steaming hot cinnamon apple tea, and I am so ready to finish this piece. So this got like really ripply for some reason. It's so weird because it seemed fine the other day. Ugh. There's something about hot weather that just makes me feel so sluggish and like I just don't want to do anything. I feel so unproductive when it's hot. And cold weather has the opposite effect. I feel like I can take on the world when it's cold. Like I can accomplish anything in any time frame. And I am so determined to get this done today, and I will be doing the entirety of day 9 tomorrow. I have something a little special planned for it. Anyway, I'm very happy that it's cold again. We're just working on the sort of bar counter and the bar stools for this guy. I think I was saying it a lot the other day, but I love this man. He's probably one of my favorite characters so far, if not my favorite. It's just one of those feelings like when you have such a specific vision in your head and it comes out exactly as you wanted it to when you put it down on paper. That's what this man is to me. This is exactly how I wanted him to look. All right, the paper rippling is really throwing me off here. I wonder if I can just, because it seems to be going left to right. Ugh. I did this once before and it worked really well, so hopefully it'll work again. But I just want to kind of straighten things out a little, smooth it down. Okay, that seemed to help. I can't really tell if that helped or not, actually. Now it feels like this corner needs to be pulled down. And I've already started doing this, so I might as well continue. I'm basically using the same technique that I would use to put a fitted sheet on, just kind of stretching the paper out. Oh, that actually helped immensely. Okay, very cool. I'm basically planning to do everything on the bar in this black micron, and then the beer pools and the bottles in the back are going to be in the dark gray, along with the mirror. And then I'm hoping to do some like very vague reflections in the mirror, and those are gonna be in the light gray micron. Of course, I won't be doing his reflection because vampires do not have reflections. Well, that actually helped tremendously, stretching the paper out like that. Does paper just like naturally ripple over time? Because I did not touch this piece at all yesterday. And when I was working on it the day before, it was definitely flat, or at least flatter than that. I wonder if it was like the change in atmosphere. Because like I said, yesterday was the first really heavy rain of the season. Maybe because there was so much more water in the atmosphere that it soaked into the paper just enough to make it ripple. Is that a thing? That's what I'm assuming happened. Since I used the ruler for the bar top, I'm gonna use it for this footrest as well. Ah! Did it again. Downside of using a ruler, it's so easy to just kind of forget the existence of other lines. So I ran into the bar stool over here, but I'm trying to kind of even it out by adding the same detail to the other bar stools, and hopefully that'll hide it. Whoops. All right, just do these little bar details. Well, I've already started. I had the thought to maybe just do this part with the gray micron so that it kind of looks like it was painted on, like the gray brush, but I've already started to outline it, so I think I just have to continue. And these are just supposed to be like decorative paintings on the bar to make it look a little more festive. All right, now that the foreground is finished, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and speed through doing the rest of the background, and I'll just erase all the pencil marks as well, and I will meet you guys back here for the coloring and the shading, okay? See you soon. Alrighty guys, I have our little vampire friend finished here. Time to start coloring. So I'm pulling out my 3 brushes. We've got, again, black, dark gray, and light gray. And I'm gonna start with the black again, because as we've learned the past couple of times, this pen is really juicy. So I wanna just make sure that I get all the black parts filled in first so that the pen has some time to dry. I've only got a couple areas that I wanted to use this. The hair, of course, and then I think the sunglasses were the other part, but let me just add a little bit of a rim to these sunglasses. I kind of want to see how that looks first. Basically, I'm not sure right now if I want to do the sunglasses in the black micron or the dark gray micron. So I'm just gonna fill in the rim of the glasses here. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna color it in with the gray, the dark gray micron first. And that way, if I end up wanting them to be a little darker, I can just color over it again with the black, and Hopefully we won't oversaturate the paper, leaving a little space for kind of a reflection on the glasses. You know what, I'm not too mad at that. I'm gonna go ahead and sit with that for a little bit and see if I like it. But I think that's all the black that I wanted to use. I do want to color in the Bloody Mary with the dark gray color, because Bloody Mary is generally made with tomato juice, which makes the drink very dark and opaque. So I think the dark gray is going to be a good choice. And then I'm thinking to myself right now, I think I should maybe go over the ice cubes with a light gray color, just so you can still kind of see them there. I definitely still want the drink to look pretty dark. So I'm going to take the light gray, and anywhere that the drink is overlapping the ice, I'm just gonna color it in. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good, actually. In fact, I'm gonna take a second pass at it to kind of separate the ice cubes out a little bit. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks like ice submerged in a drink. We might as well stay on the drink while we're working on it. Color in the garnishes here. We got the celery stick, a little strip of bacon here. I don't really want to make anything as dark as the drink, so I think I'm gonna be working mostly with the gray pen to color in the garnishes. And then the eyeball, there we go. And then we learned our lesson from the lemons in the mummy piece. I'm not gonna try and do too much detail on this one. Just gonna color in the parts that are supposed to be darker, like the rind and the seeds. And I said I've learned my lesson, but I'm actually gonna try something. Just gonna do a quick little flick. I don't know what that was supposed to do. It was supposed to kind of segment out the lemon without drawing in the segments, because that's what screwed me up on the last one, but I don't know if that reads or not. I truly don't. I'm actually gonna go back to my light gray marker and draw in some flowers for our Hawaiian shirt here. Same thing I did on the alien piece. I'm making these ones a little bit closer together because I definitely want this shirt to look a little busier. The Hawaiian shirt that I did on the alien piece, I think it looked good, but I think it just could have been a little more crowded. It kind of just looked like a weird flower print that didn't really translate as Hawaiian, or at least it didn't to me. I don't know about you guys, but I think the more crowded flowers say Hawaiian shirt more to me. I know a Hawaiian shirt is truly gonna have more detail to it, like more leaves and maybe a bird or two. I just don't have the time to do that much detail. So we're sticking with flowers. Might have gotten a little too crowded on the sleeve there, if I'm being honest. I am just kind of trying to make it as splotchy and unreadable as possible. Might have been wrong. Maybe the separated flowers might have been a better idea. Oh well. For the shorts, I'm just gonna do one solid color, but I'm leaving a little bit of a highlight line. It's actually kind of crazy how much ink I've used over the course of this series. Like, this pen is pretty dry, and I've used it for every piece so far, especially compared to the black pen, which, as we all know, has a lot of ink deposit. Because that one I just started using halfway through the series. Just interesting to see the difference. And I do want to use this dark gray brush to add a little bit of a deeper shadow to the inside of the pant legs. And I think I'll do the sandals with this dark gray as well, just because we've mostly gone in with the light gray up until this point. So I need a little bit of contrast. There's something I want to try for the hat to try and get that woven texture. I'm just kind of procrastinating on doing it right now because I'm not entirely confident with how it's gonna turn out. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of shading here. Bide my time, as they say. I am kind of remembering I did want a lot of this character to be in shadow. But I think that's good. I think that's good if we just kind of shade the top of his face like it's under the brim of the hat. Okay, so what I'm thinking is if I do kind of marks like this, can you even see that? Let me do them with the, I'm gonna do this with the lighter brush, but let me just do it with the darker brush so we can kind of see a little easier. I'm kind of thinking doing some marks like this to get that sort of woven braided texture and then curving them along the hat. Hopefully it won't look too overwhelming. And actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take the light gray pen micron first. And I'm just gonna trace the outline of the hat. Just do little concentric circles. And then these are gonna be kind of the tracks that the woven pattern is going to present itself on. Actually, I think this will turn out pretty okay. Here we go. Let's go ahead and try this. And I wanna do a center part because the weave is gonna be going back and forth, so I wanna make sure that we've got one on each side. It's probably gonna add a lot of texture to one very specific area of the piece, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful it'll look good. All right, so the plan is to just do these little diagonal stripes all along the curve there. And then on the second one, go the opposite direction. Again, following the curve. All right, so it's messy, but we are ending up with a bit of a braided pattern, so I'm gonna continue this. Okay, that one was a little sloppy, but I'm actually really happy with this. And actually, I think the sloppier it is, the better the final product is going to look, because this is a very messily put together hat. Yeah, there's a point right here where I kind of have to turn my pen. That's ending up really sloppy, but overall, I kind of like this. Definitely lends the correct texture to what the hat is supposed to be. It's actually a spot of pure luck that I ended up with the lines going the right way in the end. I had a 50-50 shot, but now they're kind of following the curve of the unwoven bits of the hat, which is good. There we go. I'm really happy with how that turned out. I kind of want to add a little bit of shadow at the bottom. Just kind of go over the whole thing. Hopefully it won't screw up the texture too much. No, it looks good. Looking good. All right, actually that turned out really good. I'm really happy with that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and speed through the rest of coloring the background because there is a lot to do. And I'll just come back here with the final little details and peeling off for you guys, okay? Be right back. All right, we are all finished with this guy. I'm gonna go ahead and just peel him up because my desk camera is actually running out of battery, so I'm gonna let that run out. But yeah, I'm super happy with this guy. I think the only thing that kind of bums me out about this piece is the fact that the beer pools get a little bit lost in the background. Other than that, completely happy with the whole piece. I love the way that the background turned out. I'm absolutely obsessed with how my little vampire guy turned out. I think he looks so chill and so ready for that Bloody Mary. Being a little more careful with the tape this time because we all know what happened last time. And I also made sure to kind of stick it to the table before I stuck it down. So we're coming up with a lot less rippage this time, thank God. Final strip up here and we've got some rippage. Why is it always the top? It's always the last one that likes to rip the paper off. It's probably because I'm ripping it too quickly because I know it's the last one. Even still, I feel like painter's tape would have done just as good of a job as this artist tape and cost a heck of a lot less. Anyway, there is our guy. This is Inktober Day 8, our vampire lounging in a poolside bar with his little Bloody Mary. I was sort of envisioning doing a little bit more with the mirror behind him, but one, I didn't want this area to look too crowded in comparison to the bottom area because there was no way I was coloring all of this in. That would have looked way too streaky and weird. And two, I wasn't really sure what kind of reflections I wanted in the mirror. The only thing I could think of was maybe doing like the roof of the poolside bar that he's at and then maybe a couple of palm trees, but honestly I think it would have just ended up looking a little weird and again way too top heavy. But yeah, love this guy. Absolutely obsessed with how the character turned out. So happy with it. If you want to see this piece in full, you can find it on my Instagram. It's posting the same time this video does. I'm also going to be posting a speed drawing of this piece to my TikTok and my YouTube shorts. Both of those are also posting now, so you can check those out as well. If you want to see more of me, you can actually see me live on Twitch every Tuesday and Friday. We do art and games over there. And if you want to support myself and this channel in the best way possible, you can find me over on Patreon. Patreon. You can support me there for as little as $1 a month and get exclusive content for as little as $3 a month. And a quick reminder, I am doing 2 more Inktober pieces that are going to be Patreon exclusives. So after next week's video, Inktober Day 9, that's all that's going to be posting to YouTube. But I am doing 2 more Patreon only Inktober pieces, including full drawing process videos just like these. And you'll be able to find those under the Content Fiend and Video Star tiers on my Patreon. And last but not least, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can find your way back here for the next Inktober that is going to be on Halloween, and the theme is going to be demons. I'm excited for this one. Actually, my Discord members helped me come up with this one, and I'm very excited to do it. I've saved my favorite pieces for last, to be honest. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you back here on Tuesday for our Inktober finale. All right, love you guys. Bye.